Morning guys, Nick here from CPAP Reviews. Hope you're doing well. It's Friday here in Melbourne, Victoria. It's freezing and unfortunately we've gone back into stage 3 lockdown. So we thought life was getting back to normal, but unfortunately we've been hit with this second wave that's come through and the numbers are going through the roof again. And yeah, it's back inside for another 6 weeks. But anyway, I'm at home, working from home at the moment. This is actually my bar. It normally doesn't look so professional. It's normally got a few empty beer cans and a few empty glasses of scotch on it. But today it's got a CPAP mask on it. It's the N30 from ResMed. And I think it's already been superseded by the N30i, but I'm not quite sure how ResMed are doing things these days. It used to be, every couple of years they bring out a new mask, and nowadays it seems like it's every couple of months, so it's quite hard to keep up. But this is the N30 and it's very, very similar to one of my all-time favorite masks from the 2018-2019 years and still available today, the ResMed P10. Now, I'm sure many of you watching now actually have a P10 mask, which is why I want to do this video. So the P10, why I love it so much and why many of you probably love it so much is that it's so light and it's so simple and easy to put on, take off and use. And it's also really quiet. It has this great little vent system here where the exhalation port is, which gently diffuses the air so it's nice and quiet. You don't have any of that air shooting across, but it's just so easy just to pull these elastic straps back over your head and then take it off. It's easy to take apart, just a gem of a mask, but so lightweight. I really love that. One of the downsides to this mask was the fact that it had this elastic strap that over time would stretch, and there was no way to really adjust the tension on it. So you just spent a lot of time just buying these new straps, and with ResMed gear, as you probably already know, they don't come cheap. This little bit of material here in Australia retails at somewhere like $90 to $100 for this tiny bit of elastic, which is a little bit absurd. But they did bring out these little clips, so you can sort of like thread the clip through here and then make it tighter that way. So you can see that I've just threaded that through and made it tighter. But even that's a bit annoying because it's to the back here and it sort of creates this weird sort of part, so when you're lying there you can feel it. So it's just not great in that aspect. Which brings me to the N30. So the N30 has the same sort of system, but the strap itself has this great little part on the side here where you can adjust the tension. So what I'm saying is, if you have an P10 and you're loving it, you can actually just go and buy the N30 strap. Actually, I'll put a link in the description of the video where you can pick up all this stuff, so you don't have to go and look for it yourself. But anyway, you can get the N30 strap, you can whack it onto your P10. It's really quick and easy to change. I'll show you that in a minute. And then, boom, you're good to go. You've got a nice little part here where you can adjust the tightness. So over time, you can take up that slack as it gets a little bit looser and keep it nice and reasonably firm on your nostrils there. But I will talk about the N30 anyway, because some of you with the P10 might be looking to sort of change it up a bit, or many of you might not have a P10 and you're just looking for a new mask, and this one might be one to put on the radar because it's getting good reviews and there are definitely some features about it that I like. So what about we just have a quick look at the mask and I'll take you through some of that stuff now. All right guys, this is that little size guide that I said I'd put in the description there. So you can download that, print it off, cut it out and use it to size up your mask. Pretty straightforward, you just put your nose in there. But here is the N30. This is that little part that I was talking about. So now you can actually make it tighter or looser. This is the little cushion section here. So you can see your nose just sits here in these little holes, and then you've got a little bit of a flexi tube here. To take off the headgear, it just sort of peels off. You can sort of see it sort of hooks over this little part here. So you can take off the headgear like so. And that's the same as the P10. So the P10 and the N30 frame, pretty similar. To take this cushion off, it just sort of peels off. There's no real clips here. All right, so this is your little cushion. Medium, small, wide, and small. You can see it's got left and right siders there as well. So you know when you're putting it on. I think it'll only go on one way, but I think they've just sort of made it idiot proof if you can do that. But it's nice and easy to take apart, nice and easy to clean. To clean this section here, you just get little, I don't know if you've seen them, they're little hose brushes, and you can use them for your big hose as well. But you can get like a little instrument brush or just a little, dish brush, but you kind of just get it, it's flexy, and you just put it down there and give it a quick wash down there. These little ridges here are a perfect breeding ground for bacteria and stuff. So if you aren't getting and brushing that out, make sure you do. Just get some warm soapy water and brush that sort of section out. Otherwise, you'll just get mold and bacteria growing in there, and obviously it's gonna go straight down your lungs. But yeah, I won't put it back together because it's pretty basic. You can sort of figure it out yourselves. But yeah, and then that just goes back on there. You just slide that through that hole, bring it on there, and then the other side on there, and you're good to go. I'll just quickly show you the P10 while I've got it here. So that's your P10 cushion here. Right, you can sort of see the difference. So one's got obviously the pillows that go up into the nose, and this one's just a bit more of a cradle. These ones tend to be a bit more secure for more people because obviously it goes up into the nose there, and it's sort of, gonna seal at the nostril. These sort of nasal cradles can be a little bit hit and miss for some, just because you sort of got to line up your nostrils with these little parts here, and you really sort of need to pull it in tight for it to get a good seal. I just want to show you one more thing. This section here is the new quiet air filter. So behind here, you have, it's like filter material, sort of like the same sort of filter you'd find in your CPAP machine. And that diffuses the air, and then it obviously comes out through this little ring that runs around the edge there. So this is the P10. You can see the P10's different. It's like a vented system. It's just like a strange sort of filter material here. And just on that note, if you have a P10, make sure you get like an old toothbrush and really give that a good scrub once a week, because you won't be able to see it, but this will get clogged up with dust and gunk. And if you don't, that's where the air comes out. So if you don't clean that, it'll be much harder to breathe out because the air actually won't be able to escape through this section here, okay? So make sure you give that a good clean. Little tip from yours truly. All right, cheers, I'll leave it there. Now the N30 comes with 3 size nasal cushions available. So you can pick it up with a medium cushion, a small cushion, or a small wide cushion. And you can download a little size guide, which is gonna help you pick the right size for your nose shape. And I'll put the link in the description of the video for the sizes. Okay, let's talk about some of the features quickly, and then I'll give you some of the feedback that we've had regarding this mask. Firstly, it's extremely quiet. This mask is actually 3 decibels quieter than the P10, which is quite remarkable because the P10 was already exceptionally quiet. So I love that they've brought in this new quiet air filter that really diffuses the air at the front here, making it exceptionally quiet. Secondly, it's ultra lightweight, it's feather light, okay? It's less than 2 ounces, which means you don't have a big heavy mask on your face. When you're lying there, when you're moving around over nighttime, it's very light, very easy, very minimalistic to move around with. I also really love the simplicity of this mask. There's only 3 components of the mask: the cushion, the frame, and the headgear. It's extremely easy to assemble and disassemble for cleaning. And it's also really easy to put on and take off over nighttime. You're not fiddling around with mask clips, you're not fiddling around with Velcro. It's really just a pull over your head, take off like so. And when you go to clean it and put it back together, you're just taking apart a few pieces instead of having a lot of parts to stuff around with. It also makes ordering new parts easy, and it also means that less likely things are gonna break, which is one thing I look for these days, is the longevity of the mask, okay? So now you've got this little clip here so you can tighten the strap. You're not gonna have to buy that too often. This frame section's really resilient unless your dog or your kid comes along and tears it apart. And then your nasal section is also quite resilient. It's not gonna tear on you, but over time, obviously, like a lot of things, you are gonna have to replace it. What else have I got here? Yeah, look, it's minimalistic, but also because it doesn't actually go into your nose like the P10, it's not gonna create a lot of irritation, okay? So it's quite soft on the nose. So if you are someone who's getting a lot of red marks on the face, you're getting sore nostrils, this might be one to have a look at. So let's talk about some of the feedback we've had regarding this mask. So I looked at 60 reviews and it came in at an average of 4.3 out of 5 stars, which is excellent. There was 42 5 stars, so a lot of 5 stars. 0 1 stars, which is quite remarkable because normally with every mask there's a few 1 stars, but no 1 stars, 8 2 stars. And those people were mainly talking about the cushion part not fitting properly for them. Perhaps they ordered the wrong size, or perhaps it just didn't suit their nasal shape. You're always going to get this with CPAP masks, okay? But even those people who gave it 2 stars were still really loving the features of this mask. They wanted it to work really badly because they loved how light it was, they loved how quiet it was, they loved how minimalistic it was. They just couldn't quite get a proper seal for their nose. And you have to also remember that some people are on super high pressures as well. So it can be hard for any mask to get a really good seal. But the positives were kind of what I've already talked about, how easy it is to put on, take off, how quiet it is, how light it is, all that sort of stuff. But if you've got a P10 and you're loving it, stick with the P10, maybe get the N30 strap and whack it on it. If you're looking for a new mask, check out the N30. I think it's really good. I really do. ResMed makes great stuff. This one's no exception. And just on that note, ResMed are bringing out a lot of masks really quickly these days. So you don't always have to go for the latest and greatest. Sometimes it's really good to go back in time and have a look at some previous masks. There's still some out from 12 years ago that are brilliant. So if you are struggling to find one with the latest ones, maybe go back and have a look at some of the other ones, like the P10 that was released, I think, 2018, which is an absolute gem as well. So I'll put a link to all this stuff in the description. Thanks for watching the video. Please give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and you found it useful, or give it the thumbs down. No, don't give it the thumbs down. I don't want any thumbs down. Subscribe to the channel and you'll always have a friend for life in me. I love all my subscribers, over 10,000 of you now, which is fantastic. And if you keep enjoying the videos, I'll keep making them, and we'll go from there. But take care, sleep well, all the best from here in freezing Victoria. I'm gonna go put a jumper on, and have a great Friday wherever you are in the world. Bunker down, stay safe, all the best.